We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Man, pool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal revolution, ayy. Ordinal revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Man, pool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and your Gobi, it's Ordinal revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live from the Ordinal Hour, and this one is going to be okay. It's all going to be okay, guys. At this point, right? Like, what else can I say? Right? I'm more bullish than anyone you probably have ever met. I think Bitcoin's going to go to $700,000 this cycle, $6 million next cycle. That's kind of my two targets for the next 4 to 6 years. And I'm not stopping it though. Like I truly believe that Bitcoin has become more than anyone has ever imagined. I mean, maybe besides like the guys in the very beginning, but I think it's become a global asset and it's not going anywhere. But being a global asset, you have to deal with macroeconomics, and the big thing right now is Trump tariffs. Every time this man comes out and says that word, we dip. And just like yesterday, came out talking about the European Union. Today, he comes out and said he's going to add an additional percentage to China. And it's just like, come on, Grandpa, like do something. Let's just do it, right? Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Just tariff the whole freaking world so we can kind of move on and get back to the bull market that we all know is coming. Whether that's going to be, the summer, the fall, next winter, it's going to happen. But if you're patient enough and you understand that this is the biggest thing that ever happened to the world, this crypto revolution that we are in, then you will understand that, you're going to make out like a bandit. It just takes time. So, I want to announce too that tomorrow will be the last episode of Ordinal Revolution. So tune in tomorrow, find out. We had a members video yesterday where we kind of talked to our members about the changes and everything. The feedback seemed to be really good, especially from my guy Danny. Shout out to Danny and everyone else to join that. So if you are a member, you guys can go watch that video. But if you're not a member, we're going to let you guys know all the details tomorrow about the end of Ordinal Revolution. So tune in tomorrow for that. And but without further ado, let's bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Iago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Yeah, man. Not the markets again today. It's just, well, I guess we're bouncing back a little bit, right?
Yeah, we are bouncing back some, but I'll tell you, man, it's like a knife fight right now, right? We had a pretty big pullback this morning. honestly, it is getting a little bit tiresome, right? Like I'm getting exhausted, hitting fatigue with these tariff headlines that seem to be just every day, like every day.
Yeah.
Whenever Bitcoin tries to get some momentum, a tariff headline is dropped, and the price is immediately affected by it. It's not just Bitcoin; it's just the wide kind of financial markets, but you do get a bit tired from that, right? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think you just got to remember what the ultimate goal is, keeping your eye on the prize, and we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, 100%. And yesterday we were really bullish on Nvidia earnings. I think we were both thinking that they were going to kill it, and they did. And but my expectation was the whole market was going to run up because of that news. Nvidia is a tech stock. Bitcoin is looked at as a tech stock. It sucks that to say that, but it is what it is. That's how TradFi sees Bitcoin. So if Nvidia rises, Bitcoin rises. So Nvidia had I mean, dude, this is the greatest company that ever existed. I mean, seriously, Nvidia reports a 39.3 billion in revenue, 2.7 higher than expectations. It in Q3 it was 19 billion. Dude, these guys are just revenue monsters. The stock did go up a little bit, but before that happened, the Donald came out and he said, so tariffs for Canada and Mexico are set for March 4th. They will go in effect as scheduled, with China facing an additional 10% on the already 10% that he's already said. So China's going to 20%, while Mexico and Canada are going to 25. Really put a damper on the mood, and Nvidia earnings really didn't do what I thought they were going to do to the market.
Yeah, that's pretty much what everybody's um, putting the puzzle together and coming
Yeah.
up with in terms of why the markets are responding this way. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I just really hope there's not another back and forth with this, right? Like the whole thing was kind of give them 30 days and let's see what kind of deals happen, and let's just kind of put this to rest, like you said, and move forward. It is frustrating, man. It's frustrating because I think a lot of people in the space didn't expect to see a start of the 2025 this way, right?
Yeah.
We ended Q4 in terms of Bitcoin really bullish, and that was because of the new administration being ushered in. But now it just seems like it's a slow, rocky start to everything, right? You had the
Yeah.
coin, and then now you have the tariffs and stuff. But I do think that things are going to start normalizing, and we won't see as many headlines that will make as much an effect in the markets. But when does that start? Not too sure.
Yeah, but we're both pretty sure that we're going to see good headlines soon, right? We're talking ETH staking ETF, we're talking Cardano ETF, we're talking Solana ETF, so on and so on. I think we're eventually going to get every major blue chip crypto is going to have an ETF, and then additional added on as the year comes. So that's really bullish for the markets, right? Because TradFi can enter and start, playing with these altcoins and stuff like that. And then on top of that, we're actually looking forward to the regulation coming in, right? Whether that's stablecoin or just structural information. Just let us know if my node monkey is a social security or not, right? Or if it's a collectible. We still don't even know those answers yet. So we have so many good headlines that are coming, but we have to deal with this stuff for now, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was a pretty good headline that came in today, but I don't think it was strong enough to really take Bitcoin up. It was because it was just the fact that like the state of Texas got through the first phase of getting
Yeah.
that legislation approved for the Bitcoin strategic reserve for Texas. So that's obviously some good news. But I feel like if it was approved, that would have helped and kind of maybe balanced out the negative headline that we saw earlier. But headlines like this is going to roll in, right? And then
Yeah.
we'll start to see a positive effect. And I agree. It's sometimes whenever you get into a dark place, you just maybe need to step away, go do something, because times will get better. You got to survive these times. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's what makes you, stronger and more seasoned in this market.
Yeah, and learn from your mistakes. Don't keep making the same mistakes over and over. Don't be falling for FOMO and then selling into into the dump. Like just don't do it. But you can just be smart. You guys will make it, man, for sure. But we're so early that you can make as many mistakes as you have to make to learn. and then bounce back very quickly. And that's how early I think we are. I think the next couple years is going to be, if you're not in crypto, you're going to miss out big time. And if you are in crypto, you're going to make out like a bandit. So
Yeah, 100%. I will say though, you got to have some sort of income though coming in to be able to keep making those mistakes, right?
yeah,
So like
yeah,
obviously you got to be smart with that and your positioning and stuff like that. But I agree. Like our title of our show is fear and uncertainty and doubt, and
yeah,
what we've learned from previous cycles, and what I've learned is when if you leave too early, that's not probably going to be your best decision that you make. So
yeah. When you leave too early, you buy the top. That's just kind of how it is. When you're like, it's hard to buy now. It's easy to buy later, but who makes out better, right? It's the person who
yeah.
bought it in the hard times. So this
Yeah.
is a pretty big Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve legislation. SB 21 passes the Business and Commerce Committee and now heads to the Senate floor. So I'm not really sure how this works, but I'm guessing it's voted on by the Texas senators, correct?
Yeah, they're Congress, right? They have their own
Okay.
state Congress, and it gets passed through there. But I do expect this to get passed. Texas is very Bitcoin friendly. There's miners that pretty good sized miners that operate out of Texas, and so I expect it to get approved. But I was a bit shocked that Montana didn't approve their
Yeah.
legislation. So we'll see. It did get through the first level here, and now it heads to Senate floor. We'll see if it gets passed through.
Man, sorry, my camera's like bothering me today. But all right, we're good. House Democrats reportedly set to introduce a meme act, a bill that would ban public officials from issuing and endorsing meme coins like Trump. I'm okay with this if they also ban them from buying stocks, right? Like if to me, it's the same thing. A lot of these Democrats, they always endorse stocks and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of like
Do they?
that. I think they do, right? I mean, for the most part,
Um, I don't know. Like, I really haven't seen too much. I'm asking, like, from
yeah,
a genuine curiosity standpoint, but because I would think like if someone's endorsing, so endorsing to me is like, putting on your Twitter, like, oh wow, Nvidia is about to kill it with the earnings or whatever. Those are endorsements to me. But like I don't really see too much of that. If they're doing that, I think it's wrong for sure. But I agree with you in terms of like the meme part. I just
yeah.
don't think that that's probably a healthy thing.
I mean, these are just Democrats, right? I mean, they don't have no say right now. But it doesn't matter. I mean, if you don't get 4 or 5 Republican senators on board, your bill doesn't matter at this point. I mean, but and we do know Trump has a meme coin, and do you think
Yeah.
any of the Republicans want to piss off Trump at this point? No, they want his endorsement. The guy just won an election 70% of the of the global or of the U.S. population voted for him. So, but yeah, we'll see. I don't think this gets put through though, but I honestly wouldn't mind if it did.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's actually the reason why they're probably doing it is not. I don't agree with that because they're obviously doing it to bring like
Yeah,
negative sentiment or energy to Trump.
yeah,
But for kind of what the space has experienced the past like 2 months, month and a half,
yeah,
maybe it is a good thing. That would have probably stopped a lot of liquidity from leaking out of the ecosystem. So
100%. All right, let's get into the next our first graphic of today. So Miles Dusher came out. He's somebody that covers the space really well. He said rate cut expectations for 2025 have spiked to the highest levels this year. So we also got some bad news for the economy, but good news for crypto a little bit because of the interest rates. So the initial jobless claims came for the U.S. 242,000 actual. He estimated it was only 221, so it's definitely above that. But Miles is saying here that people are now expecting a cut for the first time since I want to say since early January. So, or no, since December. December was the last cut. So people are expecting a rate cut. What do you think?
yeah, I agree with it. I think the jobless claims, it kind of shows that we probably should cut rates in March.
Yeah,
We'll see how stubborn they are on their position because they said they felt pretty good of where we were. But the jobless claims we know is something that really does affect their decision making. So I think people can get bullish. That's something at least to get bullish
Yeah.
about, like from a macro level. We need something. There was a bone here, and this could be the bone.
Yeah, yeah, and like Trump has said multiple times, he wants interest rates down. I mean, they're still too high. 3.75, that's still too high. So especially when you have $36 trillion in debt and you got to pay 3.75 in interest every year, right? If you cut the interest rate, you're actually cutting that as well, the payment on the debt. So,
Yep.
but that'll help the economy and kind of maybe put us into quantitative easing where they stop selling these bonds and they start buying them. So the next thing here is something that I truly, truly loved. It's a tweet from this guy Newman.eth, and I found it because Benjamin Cohen retweeted it, but he said, Pump Fund is trending to zero at a crazy speed. The graduating tokens, meaning the tokens that hit the bonding curve, numbers are imploding. Last month, 24,000. This month, 11,332. Last week, 2,184. This week, 517. Yesterday, only 186. So he actually has this in his little chart thing, Pump Fund Stats. Dude, this is crazy how fast this thing is really just dumping. He actually has another chart here as well. You can kind of see going all the way back to March 2024. You kind of see sideways, and then November, December, October upward, and then we're just falling off a cliff now. We're back to the numbers we had going into the end of October. What do you think? Do you think this keeps dropping? You get back to something like this?
I hope so. It sounds like the space is starting to smarten up, right?
Yeah.
And realize that, look, this platform, whether you like it or not, I don't think from like a legal illegal standpoint that they're doing anything wrong from that. It's more of a morale and is it good for the space, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna have their own opinion, and everybody's entitled to that. So I think majority of people are coming to the assumption, or at least to the opinion, that it's not healthy. So
Yeah.
this is a good sign in terms of the space smartening up. I hope that's what's happening here, but we'll see if it continues to downtrend.
Yeah, so Pump.fun is a gambling site. At the end of the day, you're just gambling. You're kind of predicting meme coins that have no real value whatsoever besides the people pushing them, and they eventually dump them. We've seen it time and time again. You're not getting the dog whiffs no more. You're not getting the pop cats anymore. You're getting this junk, constant junk, celebrity meme coins, just garbage, like stuff even without communities. Before it was okay because communities were forming around these coins, especially with Popcat and Dog with Hat and stuff like that. But now you're getting these community-less coins, right? And they're just going up to 60, 70 million and then dumping back down to 6. And some of them even come crashing back down to 100K and lower than that. So it's just people are just, getting in at a certain point, out at a certain point, but everyone knows everyone's eventually going to get out, and that kind of behavior, you eventually stop playing. You eventually, it's kind of like going to the casino and you lose constantly. You eventually stop going to that casino.
Yeah, true. Very, very true. And that's exactly what it felt like, right? Because you have to remember, like, the house in this instance is everybody that has that's using like Photon, that's using like Sniper applications, and all these like advantages that they have. And look, it's a free market, everybody can do
Yeah.
that. You could do that, right? And people could do that, but the problem is that there's a large amount of the population that doesn't do it. And so whenever they go in there, they're literally trying to go against people that have such an edge on them, that, I mean, it's just a very, very extremely low percent chance that you're going to be able to make anything out of those situations. So I'm glad that this is happening, because they're realizing that, like, their odds are just so stacked against them. And it just seems like the space is smartening up a little bit, like I mentioned that earlier. And that's a good sign.
It's the same, yeah, exactly, and it's the same as going into your local store or gas station and buying $1,000 worth of scratch offs. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how I see it as. Like, you might walk away with down 500, or you might walk away with up like 1,400. Like, to me, it's stupid at this point. You're
I actually think
completely
the scratch
gambling.
offs are better odds.
You think so?
Yeah, than pump fun, unless you're using the tools and stuff. Like, if you're one of those
Yeah.
people, then yeah, then you have a shot. But you have to remember now, there's a percentage of those people that are in the overall user activity as well. So you're going against other people that have tools and stuff too. So, but the people that don't have any tools, yeah, I think scratch offs are a better probably opportunity to throw $500 at like multiple scratch offs than pump fun.
Solana meme coin launchpad pump fund we're just talking about had its social media account swiped yesterday to promote an unofficial pump token that swiftly crashed. So they had their Twitter hacked apparently, and they came out and they were talking about a pump token. Who would fall for this, right? It's obvious hack, right? I mean, have you seen like I don't know, Xverse come out and say we have the Xverse token, here's the rune. You'd be like, I don't know, right? Like you'd be like, I don't think they would do it.
I would
this
ask
way.
around. I would definitely like hit up people in the space that would know, right? So but that's the problem is there's a lot of people that don't know people or don't know who to go to, and then they just quickly buy into this because they FOMO, and then they get wrecked.
100%. But I mean, how can these? I just don't understand how this happens. Like even our accounts, we have 2-factor on. Like yesterday, I went and like changed the email on it, and it made me go into my Google Authenticator and use Authenticator. Like why? Like why? How is this so easy for so many accounts to just get hacked on a daily basis? It's baffling to me.
Yeah, I wonder if they were SIM swapped, because that seems to be like the most popular way of being able to hack into social accounts. But yeah, I'm curious.
So if you're SIM swap, they can get into your Google Authenticator.
Yeah, well, they basically have access to your applications, right? So
I know when I like upgrade my phone, I have to like my Google Authenticator. I have to actually take a picture of the QR code to get them all on.
yeah.
Right, like I have to go to my old phone QR code and then get them on. So like it's not when I transfer my phone, even when I do, I still can't get into Google Authenticator without that image.
Yeah, I think when you SIM swap though, it's like you're using their phone. Maybe I'm not sure. All I know is that that's the most popular way to hack social accounts. And so
Gotcha.
whatever they're doing, that's what it is. And maybe people aren't using the two-step 2FA or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Which they should.
to me, it seems like they're not using it. Like I feel like it's so like I just can't see someone like the SIM swap thing. Like I get it, but the same way I still don't know if that works with the Google Authenticator because how Google Authenticator works from my experience when I change my phone because I'm getting the same SIM card just in a different device, but I still have to basically take that picture to get those numbers again. So, but yeah. All right, moving to the next thing here. So Pump.Fun also falls out of the top 10 fee generating protocols. I want to go look to see what the top 10 are, but they're officially out of it. So Ethereum is obviously the top one, but they were actually beating Solana in fees, which is pretty crazy. So Pump.Fun was like, top 5, and now they're like they're in their top 15. So
that's crazy.
But good riddance. Hopefully they don't come back in. FBI confirms North Korea is responsible for $1.5 billion Bybit crypto hack. So I guess my question for you is obviously Bybit is not an American company. If this happened to Coinbase, the same exact thing, does this kind of put pressure on the U.S. government to make North Korea accountable, or do you think the government would stay out of it?
I think it's going to be really hard, right? Because what are you going to charge North Korea? They're not going to respond to that.
I mean, yeah.
The only thing you could do is maybe try to get the international like courts and stuff. But what like they're just gonna have like war crimes? Not even war crimes. Sorry, not war crimes. But like they'll have like what I don't know, a charge against them. They don't care. So the way to combat this, I think it would be probably to have like a team that would combat that, right? To figure out like what they're doing to hack, how to help prevent them from coming in. And this could be an opportunity for like a private sector company that could work with our intelligence agencies or something to provide some sort of software for centralized exchanges, and then put it on the centralized exchange to make sure they're doing their regulatory maintenance and all that stuff. So I think that's where this could start heading towards, which would be good. for the space is like making sure that look, if you're a centralized exchange, you need to be licensed, you need to have all these things, and you got to make sure that you're maintaining your security and all that stuff. So
Yeah, but stuff still does happen, right? Like let's just like we do have an army base in South Korea. Do you think that if this would happen to Coinbase or even Apple or PayPal, that maybe that would maybe stop North Korea from doing such things to American type of companies if that was the case, right?
So if it was like a huge like company brand and they decided to come in, I think that they would obviously, cause a lot of fuss about it,
Yeah,
to our government. But like, the North Korea and South Korea situation is very, very delicate, right? Like so I don't think you just go in there kind of like a bull in a china cabinet, right? You don't do that because it's just that ceasefire has been
yeah,
in existence since I think like 1953. And so, but I do think that there would have to be some sort of way to make North Korea realize, hey, look, you're on our radar. We're gonna
yeah,
try to stop you every way we can. But I just don't. I think like to take like a military type of approach would be they'd have to do like something
yeah.
humongous, right? So I don't know.
I gotcha. That makes sense. All right. So BlackRock this morning. So the BlackRock ETF, and I have a another image here. So people are confused, and I was actually confused up until about yesterday when I first saw this. So, when we talked about the other day, we talked about BlackRock maybe selling old coins. So it wasn't that I was wrong. This is actually the BlackRock ETF. So what happens with an ETF is when you buy and sell the ETF, you're actually buying and selling real Bitcoin, right? Because the ETFs are backed by Bitcoin, but it doesn't mean it gets settled right away. So what happens is, and so this is Coinbase Prime. This is the Coinbase, where they keep their high clients, where the high clients can come in and buy and sell. It's their Prime account. This is where Michael Saylor buys, right? And this is the IBA ETF, which is custodianed by Coinbase. So Coinbase just has to take Bitcoin from the from the ETF back to Prime, so on and so on. But since Coinbase custodians both, they don't need to do it right away. So when people see these coins moving, 12 hours later, they're doing everything internally, probably using spreadsheets and stuff like that. And then when the time comes, they just move it all at one time. Right? They're not just going to sit there and move Bitcoin all day long. There's too much risk involved. But doing it one time a day, especially in the morning, before the markets open, kind of making good on yesterday's buys and sells, which there was a lot more sells, and that's why you kind of see it going from the ETF into the prime. But tomorrow we might see the prime going back into the ETF, right? So that is what that is, and I don't think anyone should really be concerned about that. The recent transfers of Bitcoin from BlackRock's iShares to Coinbase are likely related to ETF movements from yesterday. So this is what I got from that. But people just seem to be like really want to flood everything right now. It's like BlackRock selling. No, they sold yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of information on crypto Twitter right now. People are just, I think people are just fatigued. They're exhausted
Yeah,
from the volatility, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. You have like these internet sleuths just tracking all these
yeah,
wallets. Which is it healthy? Yeah, I mean, I think we should try to make everything as transparent as possible, but I think there needs to be like context to all of it. You know what I mean? And so if they're just recklessly just posting headlines, then yeah,
yeah,
that's not a healthy thing, right? But like you just mentioned, after you dove into this, you found out that this is not
yeah,
a sell off. This is just kind of waiting until they get to a certain threshold to make that next process of the steps, right? So
yeah,
I do think that there needs to be like more education probably on stuff like this. It's great that it's transparent. It's all on the blockchain. That's why we love it. But I think that people need to do videos and break down stuff on this
yeah.
kind of stuff. So
And like the ETF's still new, right? So I think this is just something that people like watching our show, like they're educating. They'll see this now. Next time it's just like, oh, that's just happened yesterday, right? So,
yeah.
but yeah. So the next thing here, Ethereum is set to close its worst ever February. defying historical trends and market expectations, while Bitcoin hasn't performed as poorly since 2014. And I actually have a chart here we'll dive into, but it's bad, man. Down 27% for Ethereum monthly returns. We've never had that in a year after. I mean, February's just been amazing for Ethereum altogether, except for 2018. But again, hold on, dude. Look at 2018. Everyone's really comparing this cycle to that cycle, right? So if that's the
but
case,
2017 would be our year though.
no, it would be so 2025 is 20. Okay,
17.
yeah, you're right. Okay, so this is the bear market year of 2018. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. So okay, so that year we were at 24. So this should have happened if we're going to compare, right? We should be up 48%.
I mean, I don't like. So like when I say this year hasn't started off the way we expected, I mean this chart is exactly this data is exactly what I'm talking about, right? I mean, you look at 2021, that's the bull run year. That January is plus 78%, pretty much 79% there.
Yeah.
February, not that much, like, had to climb a lot because it was already up 79% the previous month.
Yeah.
So plus 8% is actually not bad. But you go to 2017 was crazy, plus 31%, 32% or whatever, and
Yeah.
then plus 48%. And then we start the year off minus 1.2%, and then February is minus, unless there's a miracle that happens tomorrow, that is going to stay around that number for February.
It's been a miserable 3 months, down 9% in December, down 1% in January, and down 27%, with an average of probably about 13% on average for the last 3 months. That's pretty freaking terrible. Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But we're
10%,
about
as
staying
10%.
positive over here.
Positivity is not one
yeah.
of my strong suits right now. But so MetaMask on February 27th will be introducing an updated MetaMask logo across all services, including all products, website, and social media. So MetaMask is rumored, one of the places rumored to do an airdrop. Do you think with this new, I guess you can call it rebrand a little bit, they're changing the Fox up. Do you think that potentially this is just the next ideas or next head waves they have could be the airdrop?
I mean, I hope they do an airdrop. I wonder what it'd be like though, because if it's just usage on MetaMask, then like there's gonna be a ton of people that get that.
There's a swap.
Oh, are you serious? That would
Yeah.
actually like make me mad if that's the only thing that they're going off of.
That's kind of what, because that's how they make their revenue, their aggregator. So they aggregate all the aggregators, they aggregate all the 1 inch and all that stuff. So when you
There has to be other metrics, man. Because
think about how they make revenue.
Yeah,
right?
I understand that. I'm not saying that like that's not how they make revenue, but I'm just saying like, I don't know how many people use their swap. I've used it, but like not enough to probably get like anything substantial.
I knew about this for a while, so I used to swap every chance I get. I'll purposely just pay the higher fees on MetaMask, then go to uniswap.org. So I've been using every single transaction I make through EVM is done through that swap. And their bridge as well. So MetaMask also has a bridge. You can bridge from base stuff. That is another way of getting the airdrop as well for the MetaMask. But this is just a rumor, right? There's no indication this is happening, but the logo change is something that made me say, maybe this is the beginning of something.
Yeah, could be.
And we do know that OpenSea is doing it, right? So why can't MetaMask? And that's consensus. So
yeah.
All right. The next thing here is by Yagobi's favorite person in the world, Crypto. Oh, this is not Crypto Over. It's Crypto Goose. I forgot. So this is a chart from them. Basically, I like this chart a lot. So as you can see, they're basically saying 273 days from peak of previous cycle to breakout, 233 days from peak of cycle to breakout, 328 days. So I think it's weird, right? But that's kind of what they're saying. But every time we hit a breakout, it continued for a long time. And we hit this breakout. So he's actually saying here his target is between 300 and 360. It seems to be where this dot is put, and
Oh,
he
well,
has this happening.
he put 230.
But it's weird though. Okay,
You
but
know
it's
why
weird
he
that
did
the
that?
dot.
He grabbed
Because
the
half of it.
lowest.
Okay,
No, no, he grabbed the
yeah.
lowest number and then the highest number and
Gotcha.
put the range
And
there.
Gotcha. So he's saying about 230, but still, but he has that not until January. It looks like February. So it's early next year. He's kind of saying the top will be. What do you think? Do you agree with this?
I mean, I don't know. This year's like really thrown everything off. Maybe. I mean, like, I guess that could make sense since it's not normal for January of the following year. I mean, I think maybe in 2017 it might. I thought it was the
Yeah.
very end of December. It might have been like the first couple of days of January at peak, but like I don't know, man. Like this is I'm actually hoping for an extended super cycle now, like a right
Yeah.
translated cycle, because if not, then this is going to be one of the worst bull runs in history.
Yeah. Bad news bears for sure. But we have to remember the good stuff. So Fred Krueger says this is CNBC now. It's pretty crazy though. If you go to CNBC, you see Bitcoin, which has been there for about 4 years. Ethereum, it's been there for about, I want to say 3 years. And then you're seeing Solana, Dogecoin, and XRP. This is CNBC, guys. Like, this is crazy. They actually have this stuff on the top here. It is in the back right before the end, which is pre-market, but it's on there and you can see the ticker. So this is a normie site. This is a very tradfi normie people that click one thing and it brings up XRP, Doge, and Solana. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. We've seen the Bitcoin up there for a while, so I mean that's pretty cool, but expected, right? So
Solana, XRP, and Doge is very new though, so that's different. So
yeah.
But tomorrow is Friday, so we talked about it on Monday. Fridays have been terrible. Talking about the Trump, that was a Friday. The melee was a Friday. The DeepSeek was a Friday. Like last week with the Bybit hat was a Friday. What's your prediction for tomorrow? What happens to send us lower? That destroys our momentum.
I mean,
going into March.
Maybe they give us this Friday off because like this week has not been this week has been already treacherous, right? Like maybe we get a Friday off for once.
Yeah.
How about that? I think that's nice. Let's get that.
So that's your prediction.
Yes.
I'm predicting a tariff war because that's the easiest prediction to make. China's going to come out and say we're going to raise it to 30% or something. Going to drop all markets going into tomorrow. I think tariff war will be the narrative for tomorrow's dump, but we'll see. But let's jump into the fear and greed. So last week was a 49. Yesterday was a 21. My hint for you, sir, is we're
10.
We're about
10.
I got it.
I give it a 10.
On the money.
I give it a 10.
On the dollar. Without the hint. I feel 10. I feel 5.
Oh yeah. I feel 5. I feel 5. I love lamp. No, yeah, I actually saw that on my timeline. That's the reason why I knew it was a 10. But yeah. Look, if there was going to be this kind of reset, we have officially reached the sentiment of a reset. I mean, 10 is pretty low, man. Like you could go lower, but not much, right? But yeah, so the powers to be, I think we have reached a reset. So let's go ahead and hit that about face.
Yeah, I completely agree. But let's get into that Bitcoin price action and watch the sadness in whole. But this is brought to you by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be actually doing something really big tomorrow. So tune into that. We had a meeting with them yesterday, and tune into their X. They got something big happening for them, and which will change everything for them. So that's pretty massive. Think of BitPerp as like a baby version of Hyperliquid. That they're not saying that. I kind of am by talking to them and listen to the plans and everything. These guys are absolutely awesome. This is one of the most structured teams that we speak to. We speak to a lot of teams. These guys are always on point. They always are making our meetings and everything. These guys have one of they got a big team as well, and they're building. And you guys can actually start earning with them. really, really soon. Their competition is going to be starting. But right now, if you go to bitprep.io and you make one trade, you're actually going to get raffled into winning a big, massive prize. It's going to be their token at TGE and a lot more. So definitely want to start using bitprep.io. We're going to actually have a tutorial video coming out probably Sunday. And it's really going to walk you guys through how to really get started with BitPrep. It's super simple, but some people just need that extra little push, and you guys can watch us do it. It's real simple, real easy. Just clean it. You're just going to use the test net. Everything hooks up for you, but we'll show you. We'll walk you guys through. It's going to be fun. So look out for that and participate, guys. Just go on there. Just take the 10,000 and go long, go short. Do whatever you want to do, right? But have fun with it as well, because you can really learn. Take this opportunity to use that and actually learn with it. Don't be like me and lose it in one day. But take some time with it, play with it, make some transactions, test it out for them, guys, because you will be earning for doing this, especially in the future when the paper trading competition starts.
Absolutely. And before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you could help us out on the YouTube side, hit that like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, share the space for us. We know a lot of people are in Denver, doing business and stuff like that, but it would help us out if you could hit that like and share the space. And then shout out to our abstract people. We got like 6 people tipped us Pingu. So thank you guys over there. If you could share the stream as well. But let's get into some Bitcoin price action. No matter how ugly it is, let's jump into it. All right. Starting with the hour chart here. The hour chart. Okay. Yes. Let's take a look here. So actually overnight, we actually had, so yesterday we had this dump down all the way to 82,000, and then we started to climb back up, which was amazing. We got all the way back to like 87 almost. Was that 87,000 right here? And then about 5 a.m. Central Time, so 6 a.m. Eastern, they said, we're going to dump this because it's time to dump it, I guess, because the past 2 days at around 5 a.m. Central, that's happened. Except for on Wednesday, whenever the bell rang at 9:30 Eastern, the price reversed, but not today. And it had probably a lot to do with the tariff news and headlines that came out. So we basically said, let's bring this down, which we did, all the way back to 84, which honestly, I was, it did touch into like, I think high 83s, but I was expecting, and it's still not over. So maybe we do get back to 82,000. I'm not sure, but it has stabilized a bit. I will say that. Like it climbed all the way back up to like 85.5, almost 86. And then now we're kind of, rebalancing, kind of, going back and forth, a little bit of chop here. And we're at like 80, almost 85. We're at like 84.9. So what does the leading indicators tell me right now? The stochastic RSI is telling me we're probably going to see a little bit more down here the next like 4 to 8 hours. It's trying to head to the oversold territory. The MACD seems like it's closing up here on the buy pressure, right? So that was good for us to kind of bounce back as well right here when we bounce back in this candle here. But now we're going to see if this sell pressure, stays with that aggressive approach, right? If we're going to see, everybody dump further back down, if we get to 82 and hit that level again, and possibly lower. I didn't think we'd get to 82, but who knows what could happen if we get back there. But I do like what I'm seeing right now with kind of the stabilization. We are kind of hanging around that high 84,000. It seems like the aggressive sell-off has calmed down, but we'll see. The indicators are telling us that we are still going to see a little bit more sell down. Maybe it's more chop style sell down with $500 swing, something like that. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's what I'm seeing for the second half of today. The 4-hour chart looks like it's wanting to close up the sell pressure, which is a good sign, at least, right? And this is probably due to that hour chart and us kind of rebounding, I would say, the last hour, getting back to that, almost 86,000. So that was definitely a good sign. If we can have if we do sell down a little bit more here in the next 4 hours and it's more of a chop with just a light downtrend, that could be really good for, setting us up for the weekend, as long as we don't have another tariff headline tomorrow, but I would not bet against that. but if we do have some positive kind of energy happening, this 4-hour chart could be something to keep your eye on. We could maybe see some bounce back heading into the weekend, which how the weekend typically rolls, with Saturday being more of a choppy day and Sunday having more of that big mover type event happening on Sundays. But I will say one thing: there are some whales that have been taking advantage of the prices. I think there was a couple really large purchases, which yesterday by some whales, and these whales were also the ones that got in before the Trump pump in November and sold for profit in December. And so these are smart whales, meaning that they know when to buy and when to sell, and they're buying right now. So that's a good sign, at least, for probably here in the next couple of months. Hopefully, that is the hope. But that's what I'm seeing, guys, with the Bitcoin price action. And hopefully we can turn this energy around on the show even. I feel like we try so hard every day to keep positive. Today's just been one of those days that, like, you feel like you just been like gut punched so hard, and you're like,
Yeah. Well, in the words of the great poet Eminem, it's hard to be positive when you don't see shit positive, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, how can you be positive when everything you see is negative, with a few glitters here and there? But a lot of the stuff that's bullish is like, well, we passed then we have to go to the Senate floor, right? So it's like, oh, great. Like,
but
it's like more bad news ahead.
But you got to keep trying. You got to keep trying.
No,
That's the thing.
100%, 100%. But it is hard to be positive when you don't see shit positive. So, all right, let's get into something positive. Let's get into the roll call, which I always love, guys. Absolutely amazing. And first is first on this show, and it looks like it's my guy Webdro reaped already. Oh, I'm guessing people got really. It was like 3:00 when he posted this yesterday. I think I posted it like around like 2:30 yesterday. It was a little later than normal. But yeah, let's show up the chart here. Webdro has officially got 10. It's 43 days of this year so far, right? And Webdro has 10. He's sitting on about 22% of the time. Shout out to Webdro, man. You are a legend, running away with it. Danny's right there with 7, though. Danny could have a good week next week and just come right back. So it's not hard, but shout out to the people who won this week so far. Malam Yuri won yesterday, Webdro on Tuesday, and then Tim Baker on last Monday. Danny Boy won last Friday. Let's see if Danny Boy can come back and take it. And then second place was about 30 minutes later, 29 minutes later, was PJNZ, Peanut Butter Jelly Time himself. He's like, oh man, Webdro, too fast. Lackey Lukey. And you guys, no one gets notifications. Like, you get notifications when there's 30 minutes before the show starts, and that's it. And I think when the show starts, but that's it. Like, you don't get notifications when I post it up the day before, right? So Webdro's he's just grinding it out, man. Lackey Lukey with his Billy Cat says GM. Dude, I meant to tell you, I found 10 Billy Cats in my oil wallet. I guess I sent 10 Billy Cats to my oil wallet.
Why?
I was just checking my wallets because I was getting points for the fathead thing.
Holding.
So I went in there. I knew I had Bitcoin in there that was just sitting in there, so I can get some of the points for the. I ended up not getting it anyway, but I had Bitcoin in there. And I went to go look at the stuff, and I saw I had 10 Billy Cats in there. I was all excited. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yasher is here. She says, shout out to Yasher. Says hello. Danny Boy says, no way. I was first with Webdro. Really? Oh, I'm so sorry, man. He said, usually the Reaper comes in the night. This is not cool. I think it's because BTC crashed. So, Danny, I think you were first for the members video. I think that might be the confusion. Maybe you hit the, you know
probably.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the member video was sitting there live. You might have clicked the wrong one. Because I don't think the Reaper comes that early. But I don't know. I love how we call it the Reaper. Shout out to you guys, man. PJNZ, Danny Boy was the fastest today. Seems like the Reaper's more active with multiple streams scheduled. Yeah, so we did have multiple streams scheduled. That could be the problem too. But yeah. Nighthawk says, I vouch for Danny Boy. He was first at 11:06 a.m. PST. Okay.
Yeah. I will say the Reaper is undefeated, though. Like,
yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry. I just like I can only go by what I see, guys. I'm sorry. I can't like I know if what's name was here, he'd tell me just keep your computer on.
Just stare at it.
Shout out to you guys. I confirmed it. Webjo, you are not the father. I mean, first. You guys are hilarious, man. Danny Boy says, "Oh, thanks, guys. I'm just playing though. I know how it goes. I'll get them next time." Yeah, I'm sorry, Danny, if that was true, man. I really am. Danny Boy says, "Yeah, I think it's because of multiple streams." Gary D is here. So Shizzy said 92K. That was before this tariff bullshit, dude. I truly believe we'd be at 92K if it wasn't for the tariff stuff. It's not fair. It's not fair to call me out. I wasn't in the Oval Office knowing that Trump was gonna all of a sudden just say Europe is gonna get the tariff too. So, but I'm done predicting. I just can't predict this market right now.
Oh, no,
Super
definitely not.
Superfan said, "You are not the father." LOL at Nighthawk. Big Rod is in the building. Shout out to Big Rod. He says, "And here's me thinking I'm gonna be first today." He said, "I'm gonna roll back the chat like it's a blockchain." That's genius, Big Rob. You do it, man. You show up first, you're first. I don't care how you do it. Shout out to Akala, my guy, GM with his Nuki, and then Mark from Launchpunk. Shout out to Mark. You guys go
Mark.
check out Launchpunks, guys. They're a launchpad on tap, which yeah. So let's make crypto fun again. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Launchpunks. Go check them out. I think it's launchpunks.io, right?
I think so. Yeah. But also you can see Mark as MB in the Clan Wars. Yeah, MBNU. Clan Wars. I'll tell you this, man. The guy's really good. He's definitely good.
Yeah, for sure. Anagi is here. He said, "Let's go." Tim Baker says, "Let's go." Chief Axel is here. Steamy J, my guy. Patty Poo, the Bitcoin machine himself. Shout out to Patty Poo. Rick G says, "Long live DeFi, Ordinal, on-chain revolution." Shout out to Rick G. Glasshopper, someone watched the video from the members. Glasshopper, our guy, man. Love playing with you in the Foxy verse. Danny Boy says, "Got punch every day." Get gut punch every day. I'm sorry, Danny. Matt says, "Smash that like." ASAP Benji says, "I hope I made roll call, GM guys." Yes, sir. You made roll call. He said, "I'll be in Mexico next week." Well, enjoy your vacation, my friend. Enjoy your vacation.
Nice. Yeah.
Does Mexico have the time changes? I know Mexico is huge. It's like
yeah. So I think for the Caribbean side, most of them are on the Eastern time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then the Pacific, obviously, I think they're gonna be the Pacific time, so California time. So there's definitely like Mexico, in my opinion, is probably the best like beach country because there's just so many spots to go to. There's so many. Yeah.
Because they're on both sides too. ASAP Benji, shout out to you, my friend. Then our guy Danny says, "No, I was first on this too." I'm sorry, man. I promise. I'm so sorry, bud. And then Danny said, "It's cool though." GD said, "What's up, guys?" Big Rod says, "Picked up a frog yesterday. Also grabbed a WPNZ." What is that? WPNZ.
Yeah, what's WPNZ? But congrats on the frog, man. You got that really, really good price, I'm sure.
Like $800 right now, dude.
Yeah.
We should actually think about grabbing one for the thingy thing. But Danny Boy D Block says Mazalan. What's that? Is that a
Mazatlan? Yeah. Yeah, it's on the Pacific side. Across from Cabo.
Yeah. The legend just popped in. Mice Elf. 30% pullbacks happen every post-halving year. They're always great buying opportunities. Yeah, 100%. I agree. 100% agree. Just living through it just kind of sucks. But it is what it is. Let's jump to the next thing here. So Yagabi's favorite person in the world, Raktoshi, actually had a tweet. He said, "I fully exited my Ordinals positions. Have fun with your inscriptions." And then he changed his Node Monkey to a CryptoPunk. What do you think? What is Raktoshi doing here?
I think he's lying. I don't think he's out of the space.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't know. You had a good point. Like, why would he do it? I think it's Raktoshi seems to be one of those guys that like he's quiet, and then like wants people to know that he's that he's here. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know. That's what I get from him. You know what I mean? Like he's like, oh yeah, I'm still here, but we'll see. He's saying he's actually not going to be here though. That's the thing. He's like, I'm leaving to different. Yeah, Danny says troll. He thinks he's trolling.
Yeah. But changing it to a CryptoPunk, giving up is never an option. Life's too short. Cherish it. So he might have been. He says, "What did you inscribe this week?" Department of Ordinals. Oh, it's the DOO, the Department of Ordinals Efficiency. Yeah, so yeah, it does look like he might have been kidding there, but I was surprised no monkeys really didn't take a hit on this news. They're still sitting where they were sitting yesterday. The puppets did go up 13% while they're kind of sat flat. Let me give us a refresh to make sure I have the earliest prices, because it might have been a few hours ago when I brought this up originally. But yeah, so yeah, same thing. No monkeys are down a little bit. But the puppets actually passed the node monkeys again. Let's check it in USD value. Go USD. Oh, they're same exact price. Same exact price, $4,100. Yeah. And then the Ordinal Maxi Bid is sitting at $2,800. Crypto 033. I picked one up yesterday at 030. I got one of the black eyes. Pretty cool. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think no monkeys? I mean, he's a leader, right? But they're not really facing any setbacks.
I think that's because most people took it as a troll post.
Yeah.
And so that's why. But like if they thought he was serious, I think it would have probably impacted it. Right. That's what I'm thinking. But shout out to the puppets though. They now are back above Node Monks, which Node Monks had that spot back, but it looks like they lost it again.
Yeah. Well, the spot second place because Quantum Cats is actually number one, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because that's based on volume, but but Quantum Cats also.
Well, that's price. That's a market cap.
What do you mean?
Quantum Cats is number one in market cap.
Oh yeah. They are still right. Yeah, even though they're a smaller collection, right? Aren't they like
3,333?
Yeah.
But it's times 0.2, which is a lot higher than 10,000 times 0.49.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. Runestones are looking juicy. 0021. I don't know why, dude.
Do you feel like
runestones?
I feel like this is kind of what you were talking about, though. They're starting to stabilize a little bit, at least
Yes.
from the Bitcoin floor price.
I need this for a week. If we can be here for a week, that's when I'm gonna say the bottom is. Like if we can stay between, let's go back to Bitcoin, because they are going up against Bitcoin though, so that is one thing. But like if we can see between 0040 and 0049 for like a few weeks without dropping into the threes, that's bottom formation for me. Well, I think we need at least a week to 10 days of a floor before we can say the it's no longer a falling knife, and that's why I think it's safe. So I do think the floor is going to be in the threes, though. I don't think this is the bottom. I just feel like where you have a little bit more pain to go with Ordinals, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping wrong.
So you're saying they're going up against Bitcoin, right? So it's very interesting observation because, like, I was in the camp that thought that they would go up against Bitcoin in like the bull market. Obviously, this bull market's not like the last ones, but one thing that made me think about is for the dominance to really drop, Bitcoin first has to really drop in price, right? But there could be two scenarios: Bitcoin dropping in price, alts and different assets, Bitcoin layer one assets not dropping in price, then the dominance goes down. But that's not what happened initially with this drop. Everything's dropped, right? Ethereum with Bitcoin and everything. Is there a scenario that you could see that Bitcoin stays, between 80, 84, and I don't know, 90, while, some of the alts start to kick back up?
No, we need Bitcoin to be at 120 and then go sideways. I think after that we need momentum. Like altcoins don't do that. Altcoins, if Bitcoin is kind of like just going sideways or in like a bull flag, altcoins follow that pattern. Altcoins, for alt season to start, we need Bitcoin to have a monster upward momentum and then cool off, and that is when alt season starts, right? That's when you see the Bitcoin dominance drop. You can't do it without Bitcoin having momentum.
So it's almost kind of like that first scenario to where they all kind of rise up together, and then Bitcoin drops and the others don't.
That's why everyone was so faked out last time. Because you saw Bitcoin run up to 109, and then you seen the alt season, like a fake alt season happen, right? You saw the AI stuff go crazy. That was kind of a forced narrative, and you saw a lot of other stuff like Cardano hit $1.30, XRP hit $3, right? But then you seen them kind of pull back 50% on some cases, right? So everyone was so, oh, this is it. But I think it's actually going to be the next time that happens. I think that'll be it. So that was kind of the fake out, and then next one will be the breakout.
Yeah, let's see. We'll see what happens here.
All right. So on I think it was Tuesday, we had the Block Runner guys on to kind of talk about this, but additional rewards for miners. So we talked about it. We actually learned a lot about it. So I kind of want to get your opinion on it. But first, let me read this out. It said, this is from Tap Protocol. Additional block rewards, TLDR. Bitcoin miners will now automatically receive NAT alongside their standard BTC rewards whenever successfully mining a block. Begins at block 885,588. I think that's around like 20 blocks from now. Made possible by utilizing the digital matter theory or DMT framework via TAP protocol. So, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about the miners now getting getting the NAT token, and then maybe someday down the line actually getting the bitmaps? But how do you feel about this everything they explained to us on Tuesday?
If it works in the long run, then I think it's like, well, from a
Well, what's the definition of works?
like to where the miners support it, because that's if the miners support NAT, then that's good for NAT, because then
Yeah.
now you're giving value to this fungible token on Bitcoin, right? And right now, without like liquidity pools and stuff like that, like it's really hard to. I mean, you have liquidity pools on Taproot Swap, but it's just not getting the momentum, right? But something like the miners supporting it would 100% like give it a lot of positive momentum. So that's why whenever we had him on, I was like, is there any like education incentives or narratives, for the miners, that the mining industry? Because I think it's gonna be hard regardless. Like if you go to like a mining event and you tell them, hey, you earn this extra subsidy on top of Bitcoin, they're probably gonna ask some questions and be like, what's the market cap? What is it at? What's
Yeah.
the tokenomics? All that stuff. And when they see that the market cap is low, I think some people might be like interested. Oh, how can we get this popularized? How can we get it more mainstream? But it's like, I think it would be like the merge mining with bells and those lucky coins and stuff like that, to where they want to find a way just to really sell it right away, or if it is even worth it at that point. So
Yeah.
there's got to be multiple variables in this kind of formula that need to work together, and if that happens, then that's success, because then the market cap will naturally go up.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Is this
Oh,
something
sorry.
maybe you'll accumulate? Would you start accumulating some NAT? Because now the inflation stopped for a little while anyway.
I have some already,
Yeah.
right? And I overpaid for it at the time because, like, man, that inflation was like, it was heavy, right, when it came
Yeah.
in eventually. But I think what they have from like a concept and extra subsidy and stuff, that's great too, as long as, like I said, the miners are on board with it. But like the I do like the non-arbitrary concept of it, right? Because I feel like another example of something that's non-arbitrary is rare sats, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they created like the rarities from them, but like they're determined based on like transactions and stuff like that, right? So I think that this could work, but you need to be able to have your messaging strong and really to the masses. And I feel like that's been the hardest thing with the track ecosystem and tap ecosystem. But DMT, when you explain it to people in our space, they like it. That there's a certain percentage that like, I don't really care about that because I don't want to think about it too much. But the people that do like to dive deep into stuff like that, they love it. I like it a lot in terms of like the concept of it. But now, can we get like the the masses to get on board? I don't know. That might be tough.
Yeah. 100%. Do you think this is now eventually something more and more people do? So right now they're getting a NAT token, but let's just say in the future, um, more of the stuff's kind of set up that way, to where the miners are actually getting Bitcoin layer one assets through mining the same way. It's just kind of maybe if it's like 10 coins, right, that they're getting, and those coins have value because they're backed by, let's just say, a company that's just trying to help the miners out. This is kind of what their give back. Do you think it takes that for the miners to wake up and be like, somebody hit them up like, yeah, you guys have like $1.2 million sitting in tokens if you want it, and all you guys have to do is figure it out how to how to sell it, right? Do you think that would happen, or do you think maybe a miner would just sell it one day and just be like, every like 9 months they just sell it.
It just really depends on how popular it becomes, right?
Yeah.
Like Bell's coin became pretty popular once people, the market cap started going up. It got like to, I think, what was the highest market cap? Did it get over 100 million?
180, $1.80 was where it was. I'm not
Okay.
sure
So
what
I
that
saw
means.
it at like 80 million. But anyways, so their messaging was obviously strong enough to get the attention of Litecoin
Yeah.
miners and stuff like that. And so that was like kind of supported, like
Yeah.
even in the East, to where their mining cells and stuff, they would message with, you get merge mining. So you got to have some sort of like viral type of messaging and really put effort into the messaging, right? So
Yeah.
do I think it could work? Yeah, absolutely. I think it could work. Because as we get to the future, we know that the subsidy is going to keep getting cut, right? And so there needs to be some sort of option. And this would actually, force them to at least participate in how to sell these tokens and stuff.
Yeah, or maybe they just start their own decks, right? Like they or something like that, or because I think eventually
Invest in the space, basically. Yeah.
exactly. Like maybe have a centralized exchange or something like that in the future. But we do know that regulation is coming, which will open the door for the. Kind of remember, these guys are publicly traded. The last thing they want to do is get a lawsuit by the SEC. Like that's the last thing they want to happen. So they're not going to do anything with these tokens until one day the SEC is like, yeah, you guys can move them. Yeah, go ahead, do your thing. So they'll have to get clarity and stuff like that. But I think that is coming as well. But yeah. But you have to remember Fractal is actually merged mined,
Yeah.
right? So the miners that win that also, I don't think it's the same miners, right? It's
No,
different because
it's
different
Bitcoin.
block times.
It's
Yeah.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin merge mining. Yeah.
So
So
yeah. So the miners,
there's the L9s. So that's like
yeah,
the Litecoin, Doge, bells, and
yeah.
then you have Junk Coin and Lucky Coin, whatever, right? And then you have the other miners. I don't know what the model name is, but that for Fractal, it's Bitcoin and FB.
No. I mean, like, you know how like Bitcoin is technically not merged. It's merged. Like, so Bitcoin's blocks are 10 minutes. Fractal blocks are 1. I know Bitcoin miners, right? They're the ones, but I think it's just different. I think it's different hash power going into the Fractal, right? Is that how that works?
What do you
Because
mean?
it's not the
Like,
same.
yeah. It's easier to
Get Fractal because it's every
solve
1
the
minute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we will see. We will see. All right. Jump to the next thing here. I did see if PGNZ says frog for roll call prize. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We haven't agreed on anything. We haven't really even talked about it yet. But I'm curious of your guys' opinion. Would that be a good enough prize? Bitcoin frog.
What do you
What
guys
do you
think?
think?
I think
Let us know.
I think they would like that, right? It's a classic. It's one of the, I feel like definitely still considered a blue chip. That's for
Yeah.
sure, in my opinion.
PJNZ, Danny, and Webdro are just like,
They're like, hey, let's talk in our Telegram group.
Shout out to you guys for sure. All right, jump to the next. Danny said, yeah, for sure. So Merlin chain staking. This is something that I've been playing with. Jeff came on the show on Monday and said, yo guys, like the Merlin, you can get 15% APR for that. So I was like, yeah, I'll dip my toe a little bit. So I took some of my Merle. I took 19,690 Merle, which is worth about $1,700 right now, and I put it in here. Getting 15%. The total staked is insane. Look how much is total staked. It's what's that? About 101 million Merle have been staked. What's this total supply of Merle? 2.1 billion. So that's
2.1 billion is a total supply, yeah.
So that's about what, 5%?
There's 101 million that's staked right now. Wow. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
So I can show you
million.
let me see what the circulating is.
It's a lot of damn Merle.
Yeah, that's a lot. The
Yeah,
circulating so circulating supply is 525. So you're almost
20%.
Almost.
Right? Almost it's like 19%.
Yeah, something.
That's a lot, dude.
That. Yeah.
So, and you could stake it here. So I staked everything in this wallet, and then I can unstake it anytime. And as you can see, I did this yesterday. So I earned about 5.7 Merle. And this actually, every time I check it, it's higher. So I earned about 5.7 Merle. I'm gonna be probably adding more, and more and just kind of letting it sit here. I mean, earning 15% APR just for holding Merle. So, and like I said, at any point if I need to sell it for whatever reason, come here, hit max, unstake, Merle goes back to my wallet. It's there's no lockup period whatsoever. So if you are holding Merle, or if you are thinking about getting Merle, I mean, it's never been cheaper. Maybe for a few days, but I mean, this is pretty much the bottom in my opinion. Not financial advice whatsoever, but curious of your opinion. Will you be staking some of your Merle into this?
Yeah, like I'm trying to get to a certain point, and then I'm gonna put it in there because like 15% like indefinitely is pretty solid, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a pretty safe bet there.
Danny
Danny's
said,
asking, yeah, where to stake.
yeah, it's just Merlin Chain, the same place you went and claimed. Remember when you were claiming your Merle for the vault? Same place, merlinchain.io/stake, SEK, or you can just go to merlinchain.io, and then it's all the way from the far right here before the X. You just come hit stake, and this is brand new. It's just started on Monday for the 15%. You really didn't have a chance. These guys are getting the 100% and the other APYs, but for now, I mean, this is 15%. Who knows? This could go up. It could go down. You don't know. We don't know, but we think that, for the least of time being, it's 15% APY. And knowing Jeff, he'll probably keep it long term, honestly, a few years or something. Because another way to kind of bring Merle in. Merle is a proof of stake chain, which governance and all that. So
Yeah. Well, so for now, I know that. Like he'll probably run it through the first year, though, I imagine.
yeah,
But eventually, what's going to I think he said that like with Nubit and stuff, they're going to finalize on Bitcoin, so they're going to have a different type of way to participate. It's not going to be the
gotcha.
traditional proof of stake. So,
Oh wow, dude, they're gonna use Nubit to
well,
finalize on
yeah, well,
Bitcoin.
okay. So I'm assuming that part, but they're going to use something. That he did say finalize on Bitcoin, so some sort of like CK type of approach. But at that point, it's going to be officially be a layer 2, right?
Yeah.
It won't be just a marketing name.
Our guy Danny says, guys, I followed you on X. Donnie Donaldson. All right, let's show Danny some love. Let's show him some love. Here's our guy. So it is can you spell that for me, Jacoby? Why I just gotta get that? It was a DON.
NIELSON.
Ooh, not seeing.
I found him.
Did you?
Yeah, here I'll drop his link in the chat.
Yeah,
in the private.
Going into the private chat. You oh yeah, I forgot to mention we're not doing Arch Thursday today. These guys are in Denver, so if you were waiting for that, I do apologize. I should have mentioned that earlier. So we're not doing that today. There he is, guys. What is Nuki? Shout out to Danny. I will follow you back, guys. Go follow Danny. I will put his link in the chat as well. Go follow my guy, Danny Boy. So yeah, so go check him out. And yeah, I'll even like and things. So you guys can just go to my page if you already follow me and find him that way. Oh no, it was one of his reposts. Danny doesn't post. Danny, where's your post? There you go. There's one. All right, I'll give you a repost so you guys can go to my page and make sure you guys are following Danny. So yeah, man. 100%, buddy. 100%. All right, I got a few more things here. All right, so our guy's Fluid, man, absolutely killing it. So if you guys go to fluidtokens.com, it is closed now. Your opportunity to stake dog is over. I hope you guys did it because it is a 22% APY. So I locked up 800,000 dog. I did 2 different wallets, and I'll be getting back, if my math is correct, I'll be getting back 1 million dog. So that is pretty cool. I get about 20% on that.
Oh,
which,
okay.
I mean,
I was about to say 1 million on top of what you put. No, but 1 million total, right?
Total. When
Okay.
it comes back, 1 million dogs should drop in. So you can do the math yourself too. But 44 million dog have been staked. Yesterday after the show, I was like, 20% PR. Let me put another 400,000 in. So I went and opened up another wallet and put another 400,000 in. So I have 2 wallets with 400,000. I did it on purpose because I hold about 1.2 million dog right now. So I was like, I was going to do another one, but I didn't want to be greedy. I want other people to make sure they get their dog as well. But I did it too. So I'll be getting 200,000 dog, which is awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. So
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I have a
yep.
strong feeling that during the time of the unlock, things are gonna be much more pleasant.
Yeah. So when it's time to unlock, guys, just kind of come here. It says right here I have 1,000 in this one. I always have my 20 passes. 50. I got 52 more days for that. So looking forward to that. Getting my FLDT rune. That is when that'll be in circulation. So that'll be cool. I'm actually going to add liquidity to that on like runes decks and stuff like that. I think that actually would be a really good play to add liquidity to FLDT and earn the rune decks token as well. So, but yeah, man. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I think that's all I got, bro. Let's do a market update. Check out how the rooms and stuff are doing.
Well, this is very interesting. I saw this post just now. I want to share it. But I guess Arthur Hayes in January posted this. Let me make sure got everything right. So this was from January 26th.
Ooh.
January 26th. So he said, reversing the order of my Triptych essay series. The Ugly will be published tomorrow morning. I'm calling for 70 to 75,000 correction in BTC, a mini financial crisis, and a resumption of money printing that will send us to 250K by the end of the year. So that makes me want to, if he's right, that makes me want to
everything.
Well, probably, and then wait, right? until maybe there's some information about some money printing happening. But do you think it comes down to that? Do you think really because you got to imagine right now, it's not just crypto people that are frustrated. I mean, TradFi people are probably really frustrated right now as well, because you can't catch momentum right now. Like for example, like Nvidia should be booming right now with those numbers, and then speculation on Q1. Now, Q1's numbers probably won't be as great because there's been some changes and all that stuff. But my point that I'm making is that like right now we should be thriving at least in the stock market from those numbers. And so they got to be frustrated as well. So I imagine there's going to be some pushback to the administration. Hey, the economy is not looking great. The markets are not looking great. And maybe the administration comes out with some sort of, I don't know, solution. What do you think?
Well, that's kind of the problem. The problem is the S&P just hit an all-time high on Friday of last week. If you go look at the chart here, I mean, they're not far off their, so the all-time high right now, or the all-time high close
ever.
So I'm on the 5 minutes, so that's not going to help me. Yeah,
I was about to say, I was like, dude, that chart does not look like they just hit it on Friday.
So this is it right here. This is the all-time high. What am I on the hourly? Let me go to the daily. That'll help a lot. Yeah, look, dude. I mean,
scroll down. Yeah, and then there you go.
This is something that I made this like forever ago, like back here. And dude, look at that. Like you can't really say
is that the daily?
Happy.
Is that the daily,
bro?
That's okay, but look at how many red candles are there. Is that
only like 3 or 4? Like
that looks like a lot, bro. That looks like a lot.
It's a bad week.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's you know what I mean. But this is the all-time high on Thursday, February 20th.
Wow,
that's 7 days ago. Like last Friday,
true,
right? So.
True.
They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bad days in a row, but that's not out of the norm, right? They did it back here. They went 5 days and then 2 up, then 4 more down, and then 7 up, right? So it's like, so TradFi is not hurting. I mean, look at the year that TradFi had. I mean, this is the top 500 companies. Like, look at that, dude. This is the beginning of 2024. I mean, this is 1 year. They're not hurting whatsoever.
Yeah. So it seems like they've been kind of sideways since that first peak over there, though. Like, in terms
that's
of
what TradFi, they are saying a double top. That's kind of what I listened to a show called Pre-Market Prep every morning with Joe O'Connor and Dennis Dick. And I listened to it just to kind of get caught up, but they're saying this is a double top pattern. And they're actually expecting us to kind of come back down to here. They're actually expecting not a good year. TradFi is. So I don't know. So there's two of with these type of patterns, it had a breakout, right? It broke above trend. It broke trend and went up. And this could be the retest, which could, what we want to send it like that, right?
Yeah.
Or it could have been a fake out and get back in trend.
So
So
I mean, will that
they're
affect
waiting
Bitcoin as
for
well?
Bitcoin is a
So
tech
so
stock.
so so
Nvidia is in the S&P 500. So
so,
God
so
damn it.
that's what I'm thinking is that like they're not going to be happy. My point. Myself has a good comment here. He says they're going to do something to get more money into people's hands, and when they do, oh baby, I agree with that, man. Like as much as it might not seem to be like a healthy thing for like the economy long term, if the Doge movement initiative is truly can accomplish what they say, then I think we'll be okay to put more money in people's hands because it will catch up eventually. Yes, it might put a little, but my point is that last time we did that, things were crazy in 2021. Does it happen again? I don't know. Do they have the time to do it again? Because like when would the stimulus come out in the summer? I don't know.
I don't think we're gonna get any stimulus, man.
Well, how do you put money back in people's hands other than like
Cut
taxes, I
taxes.
guess?
Cut taxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
only way.
well,
The tariffs come in. Tariffs, let's just say April 1st, Trump goes, tariffs were working great. Let's cut taxes. And you do a bill with that's the only thing in the bill, right? No tax on tips, no tax on
no,
this, no
they
tax
already
on
got the
that.
budget. Well, they got the budget approved for that.
Well, for no
For no,
tax on tips?
yeah, for
It wasn't in the bill. It wasn't in the bill.
Are you
So that
sure?
bill
Because
passed.
because
Yeah,
it's
dude.
war.
The Democrats, that little guy, I forget his name, Harry Silas or whatever. He
Yeah.
was laughing about it. He went through the bill and he was like, "Ha! There's no thing about tax on tips in here. There's no tax cuts whatsoever in here." So I don't know how true that is, but that's kind of what I heard from the Democrats are kind of laughing at us right now, for that exact reason. So
Interesting. Interesting. I don't know where I heard that from, but supposedly they got it approved
well,
for that, but I guess not.
everyone thought that. Everyone thought that was in the bill, but it wasn't. So.
Well, all right. We'll see what happens then, I guess, with that. Nighthawk is saying, Shizzy and Yagobi, any thoughts on Hyperliquid?
So I've never used it. But you on the other hand, you have used it, right?
Yeah, I have used it. I think it's quick, it's seamless. They have a lot of options. So that's from a platform view. It definitely feels like a centralized exchange perps platform. The deposit's pretty instantaneously. You got to deposit from. I think they have different options now, but you deposit from Arbitrum. You can deposit like stable. In terms of their project and how they manage it, I think they did an amazing job with their token launch and their
Yeah.
airdrop and you know that type of stuff. So because they've been able to really sustain the floor of their or their token price. Look, they've been one of the bright spots in this market because their token did the opposite of what typically
Yeah.
should after an airdrop, and it's because we are hearing. I don't have like official evidence or anything on this, but from what we heard is that they have been putting the fees that they've earned into supporting their token market cap, which is brilliant. Brilliant, because I'll tell you
Yeah.
why that matters in a market like this is because if you build trust into your community for your token market cap, then in a hard times where everything else is bleeding, imagine what's going to happen when things run. I feel like you're going to see like a really good response for the hype token. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong there, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of what they're doing there. Hyperliquid has been something that much needed. It's the kind of the on-chain version of Binance. Obviously, they are centralized, so it's not any difference there. But they could decentralize one day, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that the token holders eventually will have governance over a lot of decisions, and they're actually creating smart contracts to be able to do everything that they're doing using AI as well. So we'll see if they are able to decentralize one day, but that would be a huge moment for them.
Yeah, well, they do use smart contracts right now, though. Whenever
Yeah,
I
yeah, but like
deposit and stuff, yeah,
the
it's a
back end.
centralized. It's a centralized approach in terms of depositing. That definitely feels centralized. and their platform is kind of like this chain app, so they do use smart contracts. But it's different than Binance. It's different than these centralized,
Yeah.
type of things because the KYC is not there and all that stuff. But there's this other statement right here. It says, "What, Trump lied? You don't say." From Joseph Glenn. Well, he hasn't technically lied yet. He has what? How many years to try to get the no tax on tips and
3
stuff?
years, 9 months.
Yeah.
So
The first tax bill, though, the first major tax bill to get approved or whatever and stuff like that. I know this is a budget that went through, a budget bill. But if it's not included, I think that he's going to get a ton of pushback. He probably already is getting some. But
yeah. Like a lot, that dude Harry or whatever his name is. For
yeah,
some reason he
Harris
shows up in my
Heisen.
feed. Yeah, he came out and he was like laughing at the people. He was saying, "Yeah, it's not in there. Go look again." And he was attacking everyone. He was retweeting everybody who was putting out bad information, which is needed, right? Like that stuff is needed. If it's not in there, it should be called out because it should have been in there. So
For sure.
but yeah, man. Hyperliquid is great once you get used to it. Yeah, I gotta check it out for sure. I'm not a big leverage trader though. I like paper trading, with leverage because I lose. But I think that is it, guys. I think that's our show today. But tune in tomorrow for the last episode or last show of Ordinal Revolution, guys. We are done. So tune in tomorrow. Yeah, and that's our show today.
Yep. And guys, if you wouldn't mind checking out our partners, greatly appreciate it. Emblem Vault is a interoperability tool to where you can jump your ordinals to different chains, EVMs, kind of their first cohort of interoperability. So you're gonna be able to do it for Abstract, Merlin Chain, your Puppets, Node Monks, any ordinal. They also have the AI agent wallet, Bitcoin wallet product as well. So look into that. And also their runes tokens. You can learn all this at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You can, they utilize ICP and Bitcoin tech for you guys to be able to place bets on their marketplace. All you need is an Xverse wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 blocks, and you can start placing bets right away. A new feature just dropped, 24-hour markets. Very cool because, some people don't want to wait till the dates of those markets that end. So you can kind of, I guess, speculate on Bitcoin's price, which if you picked lower, you won. That's for sure. But you can participate in creating your own markets in the future too. So you can earn up to 1.5% there. You can learn more at betbtc.win. And then BitPerp, we just talked about them as well. The perp and leverage decks of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to trade Dog Go to the Moon, Ordi, Sats, different synthetic Bitcoin Layer 1 tokens, as well as popular tokens outside of the ecosystem, like probably Dogecoin, stuff like that as well. Learn more at bitperp.io and make sure you're getting on that testnet so you can get familiarized with their platform as well. And then Fluid Tokens, the staking vaults for Bitcoin Layer 1 offered to retail, the first to do it. Amazing job these guys have done, Raul and his team over there at Fluid Tokens. If you, have a community, an established community, and you have an ordinal collection, or you etched a rune that has an established community and you want a staking vault for your community, reach out to Raul at Fluid and he'll get you set up. They also have big products coming that is kind of like an interoperability type of approach with Cardano. So make sure you're following these guys and staying up to date with them. They will be on the spaces today with us and Ordinal Hive. So if you usually join that space, then Raul will be in there. You can ask them any questions you want. Yeah, so it should be a fun time. You can learn more at fluidtokens.com. And Merlin Chain is the #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you're a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1 and you want your protocol to be a bit more quick and seamless, you can reach out to their team and apply for a Merlin Chain Builders Grant. A couple of our partners got into that program, so it is possible to do. And also, if you are a retail user and you would like to trade for Dog Go to the Moon in a swap environment, you can do so on merlinswap.org as they have liquidity pools over there for Dog. To learn more, go to merlinchain.io. And don't forget about our integrated partners. We just talked about Ordinal Hive. They are an aggregator Ordinal marketplace for Layer 1 and Layer 2. Cheapest Ordinals around at Ordinal Hive. And Foxy, building the metaverse on Bitcoin, called the Bitverse and first-person shooter game, which we live stream every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And the goal is to get more kills than Aaron, which is a co-founder of Foxy, and he's really, really good. So anybody can play. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet or a Phantom wallet, one of the wallets they support. We thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job as always, man. If you guys have a few more minutes, I wouldn't mind checking out ordinalrevolution.com. Check out everything here, guys. We got so much going on. If you guys know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the #1 VPN. That's Nord. Every single person should have a VPN. There's no reason to go to these sites with your IP hanging out. Your IP could eventually lead to your address. You don't want that. I don't want that. Don't do it. Get a VPN. If you don't use Nord, there is free ones out there. But I think that Nord is the best and very well worth the $3 a month that I pay. Use our link, guys. It's 70% off. It's like $3 I think I pay monthly. I think I just did it for the year, honestly, so I don't even have to worry about it. But definitely get a VPN. If you guys are going at Bitcoin in 2025 Las Vegas, guys, the tickets are not getting any cheaper. I think tomorrow they go up again. So get your tickets as soon as possible if you are going. The festival one is the best price, but the industry one is the best. That's what we get. We're getting the industry ones because you can go on day one. The festival gets you in day 2 and day 3, but day 1 was our favorite day. It was very nice. It was relaxing inside. The next 2 days were very crazy, especially the Trump day. That was like insanity. And who knows what happens next time. It seems like they're going to try to top it. Cynthia Loomis was there. It was crazy. It was wild. But definitely want to check that out. If you guys are interested, use our coupon there. And if you guys need merch for that event or any event, or just kind of lounge around in the house with, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto, not just ordinals. Check everything out here. We're going to be adding some new stuff here as well. I'll probably add like an Ethereum shirt if you're interested, or just let us know. And we can add pretty much anything you guys want. We can add. Just let us know. We just kind of running out of ideas here, but we're going to be adding stuff very shortly as well. But guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out tomorrow for the final episode. And on that note,
peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Man, pool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal revolution, ayy. Ordinal revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.